শুভ সন্ধ্যা। এজে ট্রেনে আপনাদের সকলকে স্বাগতম। সাথে রয়েছে আমি আরাফাত জুবায়ের। আমরা এজে ট্রেনে আলোচনা করি খেলাধুলা, রাজনীতি, অর্থনীতি, সংস্কৃতি সহ বিভিন্ন বিষয় নিয়ে। আজ আমরা আলোচনা করব হকি। হকি বাংলাদেশে একটা সম্ভাবনাময় খেলা। এই হকির বিভিন্ন বিষয় নিয়ে আমরা আলোচনা করব। আজ আমাদের সাথে রয়েছেন এশিয়ান হকি ফেডারেশনের চিফ এক্সিকিউটিভ ও এফআইএইচ এর বোর্ড মেম্বার তোয়াইব ইকরাম। আমাদের অনুষ্ঠানটি আজ পরবর্তী অংশে ইংরেজিতে হবে, আশা করি আপনারা উপভোগ করবেন। তোয়াইব ভাই, ওয়েলকাম টু এজে টেরানা। হাউ আর ইউ?
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for having me today.
Yes, it's a great pleasure moment for us also. And we got you, and you are giving your valuable time, and we are grateful to you also. So, at first, I want to know.
Same here.
Yes, so at first, I want to know how are you in the corona pandemic and your family?
Well, I think I am also part of everyone around the globe who had this a serious impact from a pandemic. But I must say that we are a good learner in our sports, in hockey especially, that we see that was a big challenge for many countries, many regions. But from very beginning, we saw it as an opportunity that in this challenge, possibly there are some more potential opportunities which we can avail. So we are quite happy the way we fight with COVID-19 in a way that we were able to engage our hockey community in Asia, in globe the world, with my capacity as the chair of the development committee of FIH. So we try our best to engage people online. We had quite success in doing those. Was a good opportunity.
Yes, so you have taken good initiative. But sports is one of the major affected sectors in Corona. What do you think it will, how much effect and long-term effect in hockey? And what is the HF and FIS strategy for the future?
I think certainly a pandemic as a whole create new norms. So that is that is important to know, and people who will discover these new norms or will learn these new norms more faster than the others, so they will be able to cope well, and they will not have any damage to their activities. So for us, it is a global situation. Some parts we learned this pandemic much earlier, and then in some part of the world it was it came late but lasted long. So at this stage, I don't see that it was a big damage to our events, which involved the travels. And also it was a very big impact on the Olympic Games. That is something which was very important for our sport, like another sports also. So that is something which we really very, very badly affected. But as I mentioned, that if we learn the new norms, Olympic Games are already postponed, and hopefully, positively, we are looking at 2021. And that is where the global hockey will meet again. And now for Asian Hockey Federation and also FIH Pro League, that was an interruption for us. But we're going to restart everything as soon as the situation comes normal. We are already planning now our Asian events in the first half of 2021, and we feel that our athletes should appear on the pitch and in a very positive mark. So these are our plans. If you say in terms of a global hockey promotion or global hockey activities, yes, like any field in the life, we were also affected. But I think we are in a better position to recover very fast and bring a positive message.
Yes, hopefully it will be so effective on hockey. However, you came Bangladesh a few months ago regarding the AHF under 21. So it was scheduled to held on AHF under 21 in June, but for the corona pandemic, it was not suitable to open the program. However, it will open and reschedule on January 21, 2021, January 2021, and Bangladesh will host two AHF program, as AHF Asian Champions Trophy and AHF under 21. So what do you think? Is it really possible to reschedule on January, because the corona pandemic still is going on?
Well, I think there are important things which we need to learn. At this stage, if you see an important a message last 1 week, that there is very positive news about the Olympic Games. And now our leaders in the Olympic movement, even now more determined, that with or without COVID-19, the Olympic Games will move on. So I'm sure that the month of September and October is very important, where we will see some new SOPs, and we will see how we can implement those in the Olympics. And I think these events in January and in March will give us a very good training to practice those things. Obviously, January is too close to us now, but I am sure that we have to start somewhere. So in other words, what is the message from the Olympic movement? That now we have to live with COVID-19. Okay, so
Yes.
if we are ready to live with COVID-19 in May, June, and July, I think we are ready to live with COVID-19 in January, February, and March as well. So we are looking at a very positive way we can practice this before the Olympic Games. So that is also a wish of the Bangladesh Hockey Federation to do some activity in January, February, and March. So I think we also need to respect their opinion about this. And certainly, particularly in Bangladesh and Asian region, it will bring a very positive message, and a message of peace and message of stability, especially after this COVID-19 impact.
Yes. And what will be the AHF role? Because it has to be more extra role, because under COVID-19 situation, how much the assistance will BHF, Bangladesh Hockey Federation, will get from AHF in January and AHF under 21?
Well, I think AHF has been very, very active throughout this COVID-19, and we have some countries who have really established very effectively the COVID-19 programs to confront it, and and we are ready that to transfer this knowledge and also transfer this experience to Bangladesh hockey. Okay, so these are something which we learn from now. As you know, Pro League of FIH already started, and there are some new SOPs and new direction how we can live with COVID-19 and run the events. I'm sure that AHF will be very happy to transfer that expertise to our host, Bangladesh. On the other way, that we are trying to be more approximation of the cost, that we are trying our best to reduce the cost of the events, that we can at least give some kind of relief to host in terms of event management cost. So these are the two
How
things
how it
which
will reduce?
AHF is willing to.
How it will
Well,
how
that
it will
is the
reduce?
number of officials who are officiating this, and also we're trying to make a compact a program in our schedule. And there are certain criterias where we put a big requirement in order to have a very high level, high resolution production of these events. So there are a lot of room that we can be flexible in terms of these two events in Bangladesh. So there are many things which we can look into it, and we can become a good partner to bear this load with Bangladesh hockey.
Yes, sir. And it is a age level tournament under 21, but few players were worried because their age has crossed the limit because the corona pandemic. So now they are quite relieved when the AHF released a press release because for the corona pandemic it will be not effect. It is a good initiative from the AHF.
Yeah, I think this is important. You have to live with athletes because athletes are everything for us, and that is the priority of International Hockey Federation. We put athletes first, and also AHF. We also give full priority to athletes, and it could be shame for all our organizers if that special age group miss that opportunity in 2020 and we don't give them another opportunity. So that was in line with that, and that was my personal request to FIH also. And FIH decided very positively to give them a good opportunity in 2021. The same players can play. Now it is up to national federations that if they want to start with their preparation for the World Cup, or they would like to give opportunity to the athletes who were supposed to play in 2020. So
Yes.
I am very positive about this, and it was very well received by a lot of our audience. Very positive feedback, like you are reacting on it positive.
Yes, we hope so. It will be a good program finally. So, however, hockey is one of the most popular games in the world, but hockey is still in amateur mode. What's the barriers behind to go in full professional mode?
Well, I think we have to define it very well. What we are thinking, how we define amateur and how we define a professional game. It all depends. You in sitting in Bangladesh, if you can recall your league, okay, and I think you demonstrated very well that we are almost semi-professional in our approach to hockey. So it is a very diverse situation in different countries. We have certain countries in Europe. This is almost a professional approach to towards their league. The players get a very good compensation when they play top leagues in Europe, especially in Holland. And there are some expats or also foreign players who can join those leagues, and I think they are making their living out of it. So it is more a discussion about immature and professional. Hockey today, as a high performance sport, demands that you completely, okay, and of course, we give a good room for those people who can search for their good career after sports. It is also providing that opportunity. So I think we are very well balanced. So it is no more to say that we are completely immature and we are not a professional.
Yes, but now at this stage, completely not amateur, but still not completely professional. It's a little bit close to professional. What do you think?
For me, the balance approach is better. Of course, we would like to see how the baseball is and how football is doing, and some other top sports that we would like to see our game onto that level as well. But it has a characteristic of our sports, which is a family sport. I think we are proud that we are practicing this a beautiful sport, but this is not that you can compare directly with football and some other sports who have a completely professionalism in that. But within our circumstances, I think we are in a balanced situation, that we have our athletes who are committed, almost 100%, and we have some athletes who still have enough room to search for their professional lives elsewhere by also practicing hockey. So I am sure we are very happy where we are today, and of course we will never give up on a dream that we become soccer or FIFA in future.
Yes. FIS is giving technical support to the National Hockey Federations. Besides FIS giving extra through the IOC and the National Olympic Association. But in developing countries, some problems in hockey, especially in Bangladesh and fewer countries. And the Premier League and the main league is very much irregular. And another thing is some internal problems like club politics and then federation internal issues. So that the development in Asia is hockey not up to the mark yet. So do you think that the AHF has authority to oversight these issues? Because like Bangladesh, sometimes 2 years or 3 years, the league is very much irregular, but AHF didn't oversight it.
Yeah. I think, Arafat, your question has the answer itself, because Bangladesh is not 100% reflecting Asia, and what Asia is doing, it cannot be 100% fit for Bangladesh. But you must understand that Bangladesh is one of the most important stakeholders in Asia and in FIH. Okay, even in FIH. Okay, so that is what we believe, and that's why we are bringing top events to Bangladesh. You mentioned about a hockey pitch that IOC is giving a hockey pitch, and this, I think that is not correct anymore. Okay, those programs were stopped long ago, and we are doing at this moment some good efforts. I am saying Asian Hockey Federation. Asian Hockey Federation is among the other continents also took the lead. And just last year, we completed the pitch project in Uzbekistan. Okay. And even Maulana Bashani Stadium, the pitch project, that was also my project. And we'd also donate that pitch to Bangladesh. So to me, 2 or 3 pitches in these years to donate to our national association, strong stakeholders, is a big success. It should be even highlighted by people like credible journalists like you, that no, these kind of things are not happening anywhere. Okay, people need to understand what are the efforts we are doing. And what revolution we brought in Asian Hockey Federation, and not far in the past. It was around 6 to 7 years. We are a completely different Asia. We are completely different AHF. Okay, and we are very closely connected to each and every member of Asian Hockey Federation, and not only the members, potential members also. Today, we have at this moment 30 plus countries our members, but we are working on a development with almost 40 countries in Asia. Okay, because even they are not our member. Okay, so our development is an example for many other sports as well. Okay, and
Yes.
of course of our stakeholders, strong partners like other continental federations also doing their best to develop the sports. But these pitch projects and education programs, we were able to engage online courses during this pandemic. Okay, and you can see the difference with the other sports and also within our global hockey, what AHF been doing. Now your sensitive question to about the club hockey and club differences in Bangladesh. I think this is a very internal matter for Bangladesh to resolve. Okay, and
Yes.
I personally hope that Bangladesh can resolve these club issues and we can see a very good hockey league in Bangladesh. I used to give a very good example of Bangladesh to many countries that even today, if you have a highest number of spectators watching a national league, that was always Bangladesh. But I think we are losing that, particularly the concern you showed in your question. And
Yes.
we can only make dua for it and also pray. We are trying our best that if Bangladesh hockey can resolve that thing, because we are losing out a lot. Because
Yes.
the League of Bangladesh is icon in this region.
Yes, without dua, you have also the authority because you are the continental body, Asian Hockey Federation. You have the legal authority to direct Bangladesh Hockey Federation. You can ask the Bangladesh Hockey Federation why the league is irregular. I can ask them, but you have the authority to why you can the check and balance why the league is irregular, because if the league is 2 or 3 years difference and the interval, the players and the hockey development will be dissolved. So
I
SI,
think you just, Arafat, you just reflect that when I am saying that I am making dua doesn't mean that we are not using our authority. Okay,
yes,
we
yes,
are doing that. We are doing
yes,
that, and we are in regular contact with Bangladesh Hockey Federation, and we would like to see that league coming back soon. So we are
yes,
doing in a good relation, and
yes,
also under the regulations and the scope of Bangladesh Hockey and scope of AHF. So we are doing our best to
yes, yes.
resume.
And we are also hopeful it will be on time also. Third, by in 90s when hockey was dominated in by Asia and many ways, because the grass pitch, the Asia dominated especially India and Pakistan. But later and now the hockey dominated by Europe. So what do you think the Asia and Europe difference nowadays?
I may, because I think I can understand the deliberation of your question that you would like to make a verdict that because of grass hockey we are nowhere, because no more us and our players and our Asian region is no more in that strong position like before. I personally reject these claims. Okay, I'm making a big statement here, and I also discourage many of my colleagues talking about this thing. Okay, so I just really ask to you, Arafat, who win the 1978 Buenos Aires World Cup? Who win 1982 World Cup? Who win 1994
Oh,
World Cup?
Pakistan.
Who win
Pakistan.
1994 Champions Trophy? Okay, so
Pakistan.
I'm talking about that era, that up to 94, 96. Okay, you are on AstroTurf. Okay, for 20 years you survived on AstroTurf. You played on AstroTurf. You won the many major tournaments on AstroTurf. Okay, but question is that what happened after having a journey of 20 years on AstroTurf or synthetic pitch? Okay, after 20 years, what happened? So I think if your question was to examine after 20 years, that is more valid question. So I
Yes, after 20
strongly
years.
advise you Forget about the difference of grass hockey and synthetic hockey in terms of the performance of Asian countries. Okay, and this is one thing. Second, I have a very different point of view on this, because then we say because our young players cannot play on artificial pitch because we don't have enough. Today there is a network of artificial pitches. In some countries, yes, still they don't have this thing, but on top nations you have big network of artificial pitches. Okay, and
Yes.
of course it is your question is related to development. You are very right. Development was affected. Okay, and we have already updated our technology, and we have already updated our economy. A lot of things happened in this for the last 30-35 years. Okay, so why not sports? Why not hockey? So it has completely different reasons. In my point of view, we could not update ourselves. We could not have a professional system. We could not understand proper high performance hockey. Okay, and what today we are doing in Asian Hockey Federation for the last 5 to 6 years is a big, huge change in that concept. We are going to meet with our national federation awareness about these high performance programs. Okay, and the things which are important, not a difference between grass and artificial pitches anymore.
Yes. Yes. Very good observation of you. Recently, hockey introduced blue turf and different colors of balls, and as well as fourth quarter system. So, what do you think by this policy, the AHF and Asian countries, how much developed on marketing policy and as well as development?
I think we experience very well. I would like to just confine myself within Asian Hockey Federation. That was also an era that almost 6-7 years back, when I took over Asian Hockey Federation as a chief executive, we start experiencing the broadcast, and we start experiences more marketing journey than ever before. So we saw these 3-4 things you mentioned just now, the quarters and type of color of the hockey pitch. It is a huge difference today. It helps not only marketing, it helps the viewership. It looks good on television, okay, and it looks on very good on streaming, okay. And I believe that those were very positive changes, and those were the need of the time at that moment when they made these changes. Hockey had made a lot of changes, but these particular 2-3 changes you mentioned has been very fruitful and very effective in terms of marketing, in terms of commercial values, and also a playability of our players. So I think that was, I will say, ultimately a positive mark on these changes.
Asian countries also was getting better on it.
Yeah. It is always about adaptation, and I think Asia is also very well adapted to those changes.
Yes. And you are also the board member of FIH. Where is honorable for you. So FIH was established in 1924. So have any plan for a remarkable 100 years anniversary in 2024 from FIH?
It looked like that you get some information from a back end already. So we were discussing this last month, and we have discussed in our last executive board meeting. So I think you are very well updated with this information. Yes, we will certainly have a very good program, an effective program of our 100 years anniversary. Yes, we are planning something nice, and we take this opportunity to look back. But in the way and approach we look back at our past will provide a strong basis and open many ways for future. And that is my personal priority in the team to celebrate 100 years anniversary of FIH.
Yes. And I hope that the whole world will observe it, and the whole world will also celebrate through FIH hockey lovers also. And
We
however,
are working on it.
yes, we discussed a lot of issues, and hopefully it will be, and all enjoy hockey players and hockey organizers and hockey lovers also. So finally, say something especially for Bangladesh and Bangladesh Hockey Federation from AHF.
Well, I first of all, to all my Bangladeshi brothers and sisters, I would like to wish them a safe time in this COVID-19. And I would like also to, particularly to young people in Bangladesh, that take this as an opportunity, not as a challenge. To Bangladesh Hockey Federation, I think the same message I had already met with with the Chief Air Marshal. Is fantastic leader. He is, I think, after a long time, Bangladesh hockey found a leader like Air Chief Marshal, my brother. He and his team need to look at the high performance needs of Bangladesh hockey, and we as AHF working very closely with them, and he has some nice plans which I think he will share with you. Is much better than me. He has some good effective plans for Bangladesh hockey, also improving infrastructure and also engagement of young people. You are one of the country who have a very strong development base in terms of school hockey, and I think Air Chief and his team has a very good plans to implement in future. And we as Asian Hockey and also FIH will be there to serve Bangladesh hockey wherever possible, guide Bangladesh hockey in the right direction.
Thank you, Toib Bhai, for your nice time. And we also believe that AHF will give many interesting tournaments to host Bangladesh. It is also one kind of development, and you are working on it, different issues. And from your leadership, AHF and Bangladesh and all countries of Asia will take a good place in overall in world hockey. And thanks again, Toib Bhai, for your most valuable time. Thanks again from AJ Arena and from myself also. And hope we'll meet another day.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you.
Khuda Hafiz.